or at some point we'll be doing this. So what happened is we got the camper, and in the back of the RV there's a loud hum coming from the power supply of the converter, and it's pretty rough. And what happened is I'm on the third battery now. They're not full deep cycle batteries. They're the I don't know, you find them in alarm panels and things like that, but it's a pretty big battery. But it's the third one, and it's failed. It's opened up. So between that and this thing constantly humming and just general safety modernization, I decided to look into some conversion kits to take the existing power supply or converter and put it with more modern, switching power supply and a new terminator block. So I got this in a couple days right from Amazon. So it looks pretty good. Not a very thick manual. Let's see, 4 or 5 pages. Put that aside. Let's bring this up a little more. Nice presentation. Just like the picture on the box. Alright, and another bag. So here's the power supply. So that's going to get mounted in. We'll review the instructions. There's the new connections panel. Pretty cool. What else we got in here? New sticker for labeling the circuits. Envelope must be for putting another sticker that says it's been retrofitted. Looks like that must be a jumper wire, some screws. So I'm gonna go take a look at what we're up against or what we're gonna be replacing, and then we'll see. I got it shut off right now. Get right down here. So you probably can hear the hum, but it's generally not even. I mean, you can see it's got some age. It's a 1994, so there's some dust. The fan, I don't know if the fan works, but I think not. Maybe even if this thing really even works, it's just time to modernize it. And at least it'll be worth it for safety and to change out the battery. But that's the old unit. There's a 110 supply in the old connections panel. The existing connections panel. It's live right now, but the battery that's connected is open. There's the old layout of the circuitry. Might restick that. So I already took off the face plates, but it looks like it's just going to slide right in. I actually got behind the unit too by taking the seat off. Alright, that's inside. That's underneath the bed. Let's see, it's looks okay. It's not sitting on the ground. There's a couple ground wires just floating there. I'll have to see where those go. Probably should be connected. There's another it's a 110 volt plug there. I don't know if that's wired to anything. I'm going to open it up and see. But you can see the adapter to the 30 amp 110 volt plug is there. All the rest of the adapters. So I got pretty easy access to everything. So we'll make this all nice and tight and wire nutted and see what it looks like. Disconnected. And I actually, including all the power leads, I unplugged the power from 110, so there's no chance of, or there's limited a chance that anything will happen here. I set my meter to the DC and just measure it across the battery terminals. The battery's open, so it's dead. And you can see that even this wiring job, there's a lot of stray connectors and frayed wire that's going into each one of the connection points. And we've got the new unit right here, so I'm going to go ahead and take on the out of the mounting bracket here, and they were tight. They were real tight. I used a straight edge screwdriver and probably should have used a socket, but I don't think I did enough damage to warrant anything. So right now what I'm going to do is disconnect the power feed, so it'll be from this breaker. and from the neutral feed. I'll probably go ahead while I'm in here and remake all these because they look kind of just about as shoddy as the rest of it. So we're just going to remake those up. It'll take a couple seconds. We'll get that old power supply out, clean it up, dust it out, and then put stuff back in. So that's where the panel disconnected, no wires taken off yet, and I got the hot lead. And what I found was it was actually soldered to a little pigtail, and the pigtail goes out. That was connected to the 110 volt feed. Oh, I guess I could do that. Pushing down on that. So now what I'm going to do is, per the instructions, I'm going to remove one wire at a time and replace it with the new one. I can't really do that without the new power supply in there yet, but I'm just going to refer to those and try to get this complete. But so far so good. Everything, all the connectors, all the bolts were really tight, and I guess there's a reason when you're in a moving vehicle to make sure that they don't vibrate free. So I'll have to try to repeat the installation to have them pretty tight too. The old power supply out, and I wired the battery to the new power supply board. You can see it doesn't come with any fuses. So we'll start livening them up the circuits and see what they're about, and I'll remark them. I'll see what they're listed as here, and I'll remark them and try to get some sort of consistency towards it. But so far so good. We'll keep plugging away, getting this. Just gonna go ahead and slide it in there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, my Ford truck. So it looks like everything lines up, so I'll bolt that up. I'll wire in the hot, I'll wire in the negative, and I'll land the connections panel. And then what I'll do is I'll just start moving the wires and the fuses to see what's up, see what I can label and where. But so far the thing pretty good kit. And we have the power supply, the wires pulled. We have all the wires in their correct components. We have the little interconnect that goes to the interconnect board that goes down to the main power supply board. Everything's run. What's a little weird is that the wires kind of crisscross in front of each other. You got low voltage, and then the monitor wires going that way, and then the power wires going this way. But I tell you what, the holes between the two boxes line up better than the original factory power supply did. It's kind of cool, and the quality just seems that much better. So one thing I haven't decided was where this goes, what it's for. I'm going to assume it's for the refrigerator. So if this has 12 volts, then the refrigerator will automatically switch off of gas and switch to electricity. If it has 120 volts. So I might take a Fox and Hound and just trace out that wire, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go to the fridge. If not, we'll figure out where the heck it goes. The rest of the wires should be pretty self-explanatory. These are nice and tinned. I don't know if I should tin these. They're already tinned as well, so should be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and trace out that wire and start moving the circuits over to the new distribution panel. Except for the branches, the 12 volt feeds. Everything else is ready to rock. This is mounted nice and tight. I tightened all the connections everywhere on all the circuit breakers. I ended up just feeding that other one. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the refrigerator because I can't find the refrigerator on the other circuits. So that is that. So what I did have to do is I had to go back, and if you see the color codes here, so that's battery positive, which is white, but the negative from the power, the converter negative had to go white over here, and battery positive, battery negative was green, and battery and the converter positive is up here. So what I did was I just referred back to one of these videos that I made as I was doing this, and confirmed all the correct color codes again. So it's kind of handy that way too. So now I'm going to go ahead and maybe power up a circuit or two. Going there, and the other thing I've done is I'm just moving one circuit at a time without moving the fuse. So what happens is if there's a load on the circuit and the fuse opens up, you'll have a light, so it'll indicate right where to go. So what I did was I just started plugging them in the middle two. I got the first one, it was labeled ceiling lights, and sure enough, the ceiling lights are on. You could probably see it's a little lighter in here. Second is labeled D/S, it looks like. Third is labeled door switch, which might be the switch. There's like an entryway switch, and one is labeled, and the fourth one is labeled rear. So rear right now is the one that I got lit up, and so I'll show you just how it goes out, and you should be able to see the light come on. There it is. So the light goes out. Flip it around to make it consistent. So there's that. So we've confirmed those two already. So I'll keep moving the circuits over. I skipped the first two there for low current. I don't really know what to put there yet, so I'll get everything lit and traced out and see if there's any value to adding something to those two. But right now it's just, I'm just going to carry over the ones that are already there. And yeah, when I fired it up, it was almost like a boot up sequence. So there it goes. I think it's trying to find the battery, which isn't hooked up. So we'll check out those codes later, but I'm going to continue with the wiring and throw it all back together. There it is, all ready to rock. So we got everything labeled. I traced out each one of the branches, labeled them all. They were all pretty good labeled here. A couple things I didn't know what DS and PS were, so we took that out. We stuck the new one here. We stuck the sticker in that was provided that says it was an upgrade applied. And absolutely no noise. The fan's lined up right here. So I'm gonna burn it in a little bit. I'm gonna run some stuff. I know the battery might be junk, or maybe this will bring it back to life. We'll check it in a day or so. And I'm gonna see if I can get the fan to kick on with a heavy load on it. And once that happens, I'm going to gonna screw the bed back down here and call it a completed project. So yeah, pretty good. So far, it's worth it. It's just absolutely quiet. It's silent, which is awesome. And it's under a pretty good load now. I got a few lights on in here. I do have the circuit breaker for the air conditioner turned off because it was working pretty hard because we're sitting on an extension cord. But so I'm going to clean up, and I think the project's complete. Thank you.